What's up, guys? Keyshawn G here, back at you with an old Ocean Universe What If, and this will be a remake to that Ocean Universe What If. Now, why am I doing this? Because I was looking at the comments and I saw one of the comments saying a part two to this video of my one of my old videos, and it was what if Deku had King Crimson. Now, for the first part of that video, I really didn't know what I was doing back in the time, but now since I got the proper training for myself. Now we can, you could say, make a remake of this and put part one and two together to make this a better kind. Now, this will be part one and two, hour long, and this will be what if Deku had King Crimson. Now, how would this work? How would he have King Crimson? And what the hell is this story going to be? Well, I'm just going to let you know it's going to be an 18 plus, and let's see what happens. No warnings because, no one's not kids no more, so let's just get this started. So how would this happen? We're going to start off with Diablo. Diablo pretty much gets defeated, and we're going to say for plot purposes, he gets launched off in the ocean, like gets set flying in a far distant into the sea, you could say. Now, of course, this is where a ship comes by and sees Diablo, well, dead, you could say, looking dead, but he's really in a coma, knocked out, you could say, pretty much out of it. Now, this is where he, of course, wakes back up after getting healed, and he doesn't remember everything, and he's pretty much, you could say, have amnesia, you could say. Now, this is where he's, having a new life and stuff, and he doesn't know about his past life or anything, and he doesn't even know he has a stand. So this will pretty much be, you could say, will be a different stand. He will have a different stand. It will basically be King Crimson, but a different King Crimson of a kind, with different abilities that Diablo's gonna have. Now, of course, this is where and Diablo's not gonna be named like really Diablo. His name is gonna be Doppio, but he's not going to have the memories of Key. He's gonna have the memories of Diablo and Doppio together, but they're gonna just come back slowly. But let's continue the story. Pretty much, after let's say working on the boat and stuff, and really become a fisherman. This is where the fishermen start heading back to Japan, which this is where Diablo heads off, and he starts to look around and start asking, "What is this place?" Which they say, "Oh, we're back home in Japan," which Doppio begins to say, "Oh, okay," and he begins to hop off the boat and look around and see the place. Now, as he's seeing the place, this is where he accidentally bumps into Inko. Now, this Inko will be a little bit of a different Inko, as this Inko will be try to be a hero. You could say have that personality. We're gonna say she's. We're gonna say Inko is a pro hero. Might as well. Let's just do that. Mm, nah, let's make Inko a daughter of a mob boss for the Yakuza. Yeah, let's make that better. Because what the hell? Now, this is where Doppio and Inko create somewhat a bond, a relationship, and they started talking to each other. Now, this is where some stuff happened, and this is where they, you could say, hit it off in the bed, which you could say Doppio got another one. But this is where Doppio gets married to Inko. Now, as the years go on, Inko pretty much gets pregnant, and Doppio is protected. How can I say? Doppio is in the Yakuza family now, which now he's like, which how can I say this? Inko is a Yakuza member, but she's a higher rank, because we're gonna say in this universe, Yakuza can be male or female, and they can do whatever they can pretty much do whatever they want, but not everything they want. Yakuza is kind of different than gang members in other countries and stuff, but pretty much the Yakuza is, you know, if anyone knows what a Yakuza is. This is where we're gonna say a couple years, and Deku was pretty much born. Now, Deku was born as a baby, and pretty much is, you could say, a different type of breed. Now, his hair is gonna be kind of a combination of green and pink, as he's gonna have green hair. He's gonna have green hair, but pink tips at the end of his hair. So he's gonna have long hair, and he's gonna have pink on tips and green in the middle. You could say. Now, as Deku's being born, Deku pretty much make well opens up his eyes, which the doctor is saying, "Oh, his eyes is already open. Regular babies can't open up their eyes." Which Doppio is looking at, saying, "Huh, amazing. Look like our son has a secret talent." Which this is where Inko says, "Huh, I guess he is. He's gonna be a strong child when he grows up." Which this is where uh we're gonna do a little bit of a time skip. Oh, 1 second time skip. And this is where Deku is like, 5 years old, five, yeah, let's say five. Sorry about that. Yeah, he's 5 years old. Now this Deku is pretty much is you know, as same as Deku, but kind and giant, kind-hearted and gentle, but does have his father's genetics, so he will be kind of gets like bursts out or have a breakdown sometimes. He does have breakdowns, but also he is, kind of loyal to his friends and stuff that he treated or have as friends. And his one of his loyal friends is, you could say, Bakugo. Now, this is where Deku is playing with Bakugo and stuff, and we're gonna say this is where Bakugo, of course, gets his quirk first, and pretty much start doing some explosions. And this is where Deku says, "Oh, Kashan, that's real amazing." Which Bakugo starts getting his cockiness demeanor and stuff from the Quirk Awakening, saying, "Huh, amazing." Which this is where Deku says, "I can't wait for my quirk to be activated or be activated." So, which sadly he doesn't have a quirk, but he does have a power much stronger than a quirk. But let's continue. We're gonna say a couple years pass, and this is where we're gonna do that instance when they show Bakugo pretty much bullying a kid, and Deku has to jump in. Now, this is where, of course, the same situation happens as the same as usual, but it's a little different this time. As Bakugo is telling Deku to move aside and let him finish what he started with that weakling, this is where Deku says, "No, Kashan, this is not right." And, saying, um, "You ain't you said you want to be a hero? Why are you uh, bullying kids?" Which this is where Bakugo gets mad, and he runs at Deku, saying, "I'm gonna make you regret that," and pretty much throws an explosion. And we're gonna say a little bit too big, and it started going straight to Deku and about to hit the kid. Until this is where one of the abilities of King Crimson or Deku Stand begins to start to activate, and it's the time race, you could say. Now we're not gonna make Deku like busted as a kid, but we're gonna say this is where he has about 5 seconds. 5 seconds. Nah, let's give it 10 seconds to make it a little bit better. This is where he activate a race time for 10 seconds, which he sees everything is different, and he's confused of what the hell is happening. Which he starts to think, since Deku's smart, starts to think that this is his quirk, and he's excited. But he starts to realize that he's in the same situation with what's happening right now. Now this is where we're gonna say, sees what's gonna happen next, and he pretty much grabs the kid hand and pretty much moves the kid, and then the time race, you know, continue as usual. But Deku and the kid is moved out the way, and Baku is confused of what the hell just happened, and he's confused of like how he did the explosion quirk, or how how that explosion quirk went bigger. He doesn't remember, you could say. Now, this is where Deku is basically telling him that, you know, smiling at Bakugo and telling him that his quirk activated, and he pretty much did something, which Bakugo doesn't believe him and just tells his goons of delinquents to come on and stuff. Now after that, this is where Deku pretty much how can I say, pretty much you know start testing out his, you could say he think as a quirk, but his stand. He start to train for the next couple of years. Yeah. Now we're gonna get to the start of it. Now we have a 17-year old Deku. Now Deku pretty much has his hair in a bun for reasons. Not as a bun, but like in a ponytail, kind of like Doppio ponytail, kind of like that. But pretty much yeah, which his father always wraps up for him, or mother and father pretty much do it. Sometimes they do it together because Doppio is going to be in this what if, because what the hell, might as well. And pretty much Deku start coming to school like that. But when his hair is long, the girls like him with his ponytail, but when his hair is like not ponytail, the girls just go crazy, head over heels for them. They just want to marry him, you could say. But let's continue. Pretty much after, uh, yeah, we're gonna say 17-year-old Deku, because I want to make him 17, because if I'm gonna add a 16, might as well. But let's continue. Pretty much as yeah, Deku is sitting down, pretty much writing down stuff in his book and stuff. This is where, of course, the teacher walks in and pretty much looks at everybody. It says, "So who wants to be a hero?" Which he pretty much says, "Oh, what I'm kidding. Everybody wants to become a hero." It throws up the fucking papers in the usual in the anime, which everybody's decided about. Uh, Except for this is where Bakugo gets up and he pretty much says that yeah, pretty much says that this is where none of y'all losers are gonna ever get to UA high, because I'm gonna be the only one who gets in there. Which this is where the teacher looks and says, "Well, I wouldn't say about that. Uh, Mizuku Mizuki Midori wants to join the UA high too." Which this is where Bakugo looks at Deku with pretty much a pissed off look and saying, "So you want to become a hero? You don't even have a quirk." Which this is where Deku says, "Oh, yeah, that you don't know about." Which everybody pretty much is saying, "Ooh," like all quiet and silent, saying, "Oh shit." Now this is where, of course, Bakugo start looking around and everybody's talking, like laughing, whispering, and all that shit. Which he pretty much gets pissed off and says, "I'm tired of your shit, Deku. Let's let's go outside to fight." Which this is where Deku pretty much says, how about not?" Which pretty much he just says, "All right, y'all two stop fighting." Which Deku says, "All right." Which Bakugo, looks away in anger. But he pretty much saying, "After school, I'm gonna kick your ass." Now, after school, of course, this is where Deku is walking out. Yeah, this is where Deku is walking out, and of course, this is where Bakugo is waiting for him. Now, as Bakugo is waiting for him, he pretty much says, "Do you really think you could disrespect me like that and get away with that?" Which this is where, of course, Deku pretty much saying, "Listen, Kanshan, I'm telling you right now, move aside and let me go home, or I'm gonna show you what's my power of my really quirk can do to you." Which this is where, this is where Bakugo starts walking up close and says, "Huh, like you can beat me in my explosion quirk." And this is where Bakugo, this is where Deku sees in the future for 10 seconds, and sees that Bakugo is about to throw an explosion quirk right in his face, or explosion right in his face. Which this is where he activates his time erase and pretty much dodges Bakugo, end up right behind him. Which Bakugo is confused of what the hell just happened, and how the hell Deku get right behind him. Now this is where Deku just taps him on the shoulder and says, "Huh, you really tried it, but nice job, Kaishan. Maybe next time." And he begins to walk away. Which this is where Bakugo gets even more mad and he throws a big explosion, a little bit of even bigger explosion at Deku right behind Deku's back, which Deku, like I said, sees in the future, just the time, just you could say time erase, and just to teleport, or you could say go right behind Bakugo and karate chop him in the head, just to knock him out. Pretty much did a quick karate chop, and I'm not gonna say he used his stand arm because like stands are very powerful. Like it doesn't matter which stand it is, stands are very powerful. So if Bakugo gets karate chopped in the head by a stand, he's probably gonna die, or gets a quick or get his brain split apart. If I'm correct, but let's continue. After the whole karate chopped in the head and Bakugo is knocked out, this is where Deku begins to start heading and taking a shortcut at the bridge. Now, of course, Deku is always training his quirk, which he think he is training his quirk, but he's really, you know, training his stand and getting stronger. Now, as he's walking, this is where he sees in the future for 10 seconds and sees that he's about to get covered up by slime or some such villain. Now, of course, this is where he pretty much he walks forward, and this is where the sludge start running at Deku, about to try to steal Deku's body until Deku time erase, and pretty much this ducks under him and pretty much say foolish, and pretty much just continue walking while time races over. This is where, of course, the Sun Villain is confused of what the hell just happened and don't know what the hell is going on because he's just remembered of thinking he grabbed Deku and was about to take over his body until he sees Deku about to almost walk out the bridge until uh All Might comes in and just short smashes him. Now, this is where Deku sees All Might and says, "Oh wow, it's All Might." Which this is where, of course, All Might looks at Deku and says, "Ah, a fan." Which this is where Deku asks for an autograph, not in a crazy exciting way, but like in a cool, chill demeanor way. And he pretty much gets a autograph. Yeah, pretty much gets a autograph from All Might. Now, of course, this is where All Might grabs Slenderman and heads off. And no, Deku's not gonna grab All Might because Deku knows that he has a strong, powerful quirk that he can pretty much, you know, become a number one hero or a hero. To be honest with you, which this is where, which this is where he doesn't grab All Might's arm, and pretty much he just continues. Just continues. Yeah, let All Might continues. Now we're gonna do the 2 weeks of training arc. You could say I'm just gonna call it arc, and he for like the 2 weeks he begins to. I think it was 2 months. Yeah, it was 2 months if I was correct. 2 weeks or 2 months. I forgot. It's probably more of that, but I can't remember. But we're just gonna say 2 months. In this 2 months in training, for the first month, Deku heads to the beach and he starts training his you could say he think as quirk, but really stand. Starts seeing what he can do with his stand. Now he starts at first, bringing out the arms and stuff, and then he start bringing out the full body of King Crimson, which he realized that this is his stand, or he pretty much realized this is his quirk. Now, as he's using his quirk, he thinks, to do stuff, he's moving it around, pretty much moving heavy stuff, and then he's moving the heavy stuff too with his own. Because we're gonna say he wants to have physical strength of his own, just in case if he's caught in a situation and he can't use his quirk, he can like fight people and stuff, and also get his stuff out of the situation with his own hands. So yeah, pretty much after that, the first month, we're gonna say the second month. This is where stuff started getting interesting, and this is where Doppio, his dad, comes in and says, "Hey son, what are you doing?" Which and asks him how's his training going on. Which this is where he sees uh Deku with the same stand. Well, you could say Deku's stand is quite different as it has a more green demeanor to it. It has a and instead of having shoot instead of the belt having like that, it will have a king crown in the middle. So yeah, King Crimson stand will be different, but it will be Deku stand. Now, of course, this is where Doppio begins to start remembering, like we're gonna say half memories, and start remembering his past self. Now, of course, this is where Deku runs because his father fell down to the ground. His dad, alright, until his dad gets up and smiling, saying, "Of course I remember. Of course I'm alright, son." And pretty much looks up with a smiling face, which Deku feels a little bit concerned for, but he says, "Alright." Now, this is where uh, Doppio asks Deku if he needs help with his stand, which he forms to let Deku know what he has. Which Deku realizes that he doesn't have a quirk, but instead of a stand. And Deku gladly accepted, and they start training for that last month. Now, after that last month, this is where, of course, Deku Deku tells his dad that he's going to be going to his exam today, which to try to get into UA, which his dad tells him to good luck, son, and pretty much heads off. Now, as he's heading off, this is where his dad goes back in the house and he starts to, you know, untangle out his hair, and he starts to remember, getting a little bit more memories back, and he starts saying, "I'm going to kill Giorno, but first I need to get I need to get a Requiem arrow." And he starts planning his you could say his thing to start killing Giorno. But let's switch back to Deku. After Deku of course getting to the UA, he begins to walk inside and take a seat. Of course, this is where Bakugo comes into, and he sees Deku. Now, Deku doesn't say nothing to Bakugo, pretty much keeping quiet and looking away, which Bakugo makes a pissed off look and goes sit down. Now, everything goes as the same in the enemy, including the IQ thing. Everything goes the same. Here's with the weight thing, Deku uses his stand to kind of lift up stuff a little bit more, you could say. But yeah, let's just continue with the robot thing. Now, the robot thing. This is where, of course, what should I say? Yeah, this is where, of course, the teacher explains the whole thing, and this is where the teachers say, "Are you marked? Get set, go." And Deku starts, uh, we're gonna say, using the stand legs and start boosting his speed, you could say. Now, as he's boosting his speed and jumping up high and stuff, he's destroying robots left to right. Uh, we're gonna say he pretty much is using his stand, but he's destroying stuff left to right. Now, of course, I'm gonna use that demeanor of I'm gonna switch up the demeanor so people can see Deku stand, but Deku has a choice to let people see his stand or not. It's more like a choice. So no one can see his stand right now, but only him. So that's why all the teachers are looking at Deku and confusing of like, how is he destroying these robots without, he touching them? Is it with gravity? Is it something with like air or something? But really, it's just a stand, but they can't see it. Now, this is where Deku, says this is enough of him destroying robots, and he thinks he's done, and he starts to about to leave until he sees the 0 Point robot coming in. Now, everybody's running away, of course, pissing their pants and stuff. But this is where, of course, he hears a screaming girl, and this is a rocket, as we all know and love. Now, as that's happening, this is where the Zero Point Robot's about to step on her until Deku comes in the way and holds off the foot that the robot's about to almost step on her and pretty much punch. We're gonna say do a short barrage punch on the robot's leg, pretty much destroying the leg. Now the Zero Point Robot is about to fall. Until he's about to fall, this is where um, Deku erased time and heads right behind the robot and says, "You're done for." And Karai chops the other leg, and makes the Zero Point Robot fall down. Now, of course, the Zero Point Robot falls down and pretty much, we're just gonna say explode. Now, of course, this is where Deku goes and helps the girl and asks if she's alright, which the girl says that she is alright, and she says thank you to Deku, which Deku says it's alright, and begins. And this is where Deku starts to head off. Now, as he's heading off, this is where he heads home and stuff, and he this is where his dad asks how he did, which he said he does alright. He think he did alright, and Inko says, "Oh, that's good." And they pretty much, all go to bed. Now the next day, this is where Deku wakes up, and he's pretty much going in front of his door to check the mail, and he pretty much gets a letter saying that he passed. He passed the entrance exam, and he will be going to UA High, which he pretty much smiles and clenches fist, saying yes. Now after that, this is where he heads. Hmm, yeah, heads to the next. Yeah, we're gonna say the next day. This is where he starts walking into UA High. Now, of course, this is where he sees Bakugo and Idon. Idon? Yeah, Idon. Pretty much is having a fight with each other. Now, of course, this is where Bakugo, of course, saying, I don't know why you, I don't know why you're trying to act like you're a teacher here and you own the goddamn school. Which this is where Idon's saying, no, but it's the school property not to put your foot on the desk. Which this is where Deku pretty much don't care and just mind his damn business. And pretty much just relax and start reading the book. Now, this is where everybody else start coming in, being loud and stuff, and getting to know each other and stuff. Which Deku, already said his name and stuff, and it just, making a conversation. This is where the teacher comes up, and we all know it's Razorhead. Pretty much is saying, why is everybody so loud and stuff? He was trying to sleep. And he pretty much look around and says, huh, so is this my class? Which everybody is still shocked, except for Deku, that he came up pretty much in a sleeping bag. Now, this is where he pretty much saying, huh, okay, so this is my class. Alright, everybody go outside. We're not going to be testing into the thing. I want to see if y'all qualified to be in this class. Which, this is where everybody is confused of what he means. Which, he explains that he's going to kick some students out or expel some students out the school if they're not worthy to be in this class 1A. Which, of course, this is where Edon want to be a smart ass and says, "Oh, you can't do that." Which this is where Razorhead looks at him and says, "Huh? Are you want to be the first one to get kicked out of the school?" Which Edon shuts himself up. Now, of course, this is where everybody's going into the girls and boys locker room, and they're pretty much changing and stuff. Now, as Deku's taking off his shirt and stuff, they see how Deku is ripping stuff and pretty much has some scars and stuff on his arm and stuff, with on the back and on the side of his stomach. Now, this is where they're asking like, "Oh, what happened?" Which Deck is saying, "Oh, he got these by training." Which, uh, of course, one of the boys is saying, "Huh, I can see I can see because you ripped." Which this is where Deku says, "Ha, yeah." Now, mm, sorry about that, but yeah, this is where they all head out and stuff. It pretty much is all prepared and stuff. And yeah, start to get prepared. Now everything happens as the same, except for the ball and swimming. Like Deku ends up in second with the swimming thing, but the ball throw he ends up in second just as well. Yeah, we're gonna say he's ends up in second, but everybody pretty much passes because we're gonna say everybody has potential, including pervert Mineta. you could say. Now, after that, this is where they're all in the classroom and stuff. Pretty much, talking and saying that was a close one. They almost all got spelled. And this is where All Might runs it. Now, as All Might running in, this is where he says, "I am here," which everybody's excited that All Might's here and stuff. Which this is where All Might sees the same kid, and that same kid is, of course, is Deku, or you could say teenager. And he pretty much says it's you, which Deku says, "Oh, hey, it's you, All Might," which this is where everybody's saying, "Oh, do you know each other?" Which All Might says, "Yeah, that's the kid I saved from a sludge building." Now, of course, this is where Paco gets angry and say, "You already met All Might? Huh, he's just one step ahead of me every time." Now, we're gonna just do a little skipping. This is where All Might is talking about the hero versus villain test. Now, this is where he explains what they have to do and stuff, and how to pretty much get points and stuff, and which everybody agrees. Now, everything happens as the same, and we're gonna just go all the way up to the, let's see, go all the way to the yeah, Deku and Uraraka part. Now, this is where Deku is pretty much walking Uraraka and stuff, and this is where Deku is walking Uraraka, and his hero outfit is gonna be like his father's outfit, but he's gonna just have a sweater. He's gonna look like Doppio. His hero outfit is gonna be like Doppio's outfit. So yeah, but let's continue. Pretty much yeah, or or it won't be like that. Like if y'all want, like, go down to the comments of what hero outfit y'all want me to do for Deku in this what if. Okay, so y'all guys let me know. But other than that, let's continue. Pretty much Deku is pretty much walking with Rocket, and he is uh he's pretty much talking to her, telling her what's the plan and what he wants her to do. And he wants her to use her gravity to go through one of the windows while he distracts Bakugo, which Uraraka agrees and uses her gravity on herself and starts to go in one of the windows while Deku goes inside the building. Now, as he's going inside the building, this is where Bakugo is coming in with explosions and says, "Huh, look like we finally get to settle this, Bakugo," Deku, which Deku says, "Huh, I guess we have to fight then, Kashan." And this is where Bakugo starts to smile, and this is where he throws an explosion at a deadly explosive grenade at Deku. Now, of course, this is where Deku, of course, time erasing. He starts walking. Start walking for we're gonna say his time skip went up to 50 seconds, so just to make it a little bit better. This is where he starts, walking. Well, walking around behind Bakugo, he's about to karate chop him in the neck to knock him out until he realized that Bakugo has a explosion right behind his hand, and he pretty much uh backs all the way up, and he pretty much let it happen again. Which Bakugo lets the explosion happen both sides, in the back side and front side. Now this is where Deku realized that Bakugo somehow maybe might knows of his quirk, of his power. Which Bakugo says, "What's wrong, Deku? I thought you'd be right behind me." Which Bakugo is smiling, which Deku says, "I think he kinda knows." Now, this is where Bakugo says, "Huh, I think your power is which Bakugo smiles and says, "I know what your quirk is. It's teleportation," which everybody's shocked, including All Might. Until Deku smiles and start laughing maniacally, saying, "Do you really think that's my quirk? Ta- Teleportation? You're a bigger fool than I thought." Which this is where Bakugo gets pissed off and says, "What you say about me?" And throws a bigger explosion at Deku, which Deku time erase again, and pretty much, or you could say erase time, pretty much ends up right in the middle, right behind Bakugo, which Bakugo has his explosion again right behind him. Which this is where Deku says, "Huh, fool," and just at the last second, Karai chopped him right beside the neck, which Bakugo passes out. Which no one doesn't know what the hell just happened, except for Deku. But he pretty much wins that fight. Now, of course, Uraraka does her part and the hero team wins. Of course. After that, this is where Deku's thanking Uraraka for, being his team member and helping him pass, which she pretty much says, oh, it's nothing, and, blushing a little bit because she thinks Deku's hot a little and walks away. After that, this is where Deku begins to start walking home, and he pretty much says he's home, and he starts heading upstairs, which we're gonna switch to Diablo, and Diablo's pretty much uh getting the package he got, and he pretty much opens it up, seeing that it's a rec room, or saying I'm one step closer of achieving my goal that I had so many years ago. Now this is part 1 and 2 of What If Deku Had King Crimson. If you like, leave a like, comment, do all that stuff. But I'm Keyshawn Chia. Thanks for watching and peace out. Oh, but before you go, let me just ask you one thing. If y'all want me to do any more remakes, or, bring alive some videos that y'all like to watch from my YouTube channel, please go down to the comment section, say hashtag remake of, let's say, just do hashtag remake of which What If I have did in my past years, or my past months, yeah, I can say. So just do hashtag and then do hashtag remake what if Naruto had the Speed Force, or hashtag what if uh hashtag remake what if Naruto was the reincarnation of Dracula. So just do that, and then I will remake of the videos y'all want me to remake. But other than that, I'm Keyshawn Chia. Thanks for watching and peace out.
It looks like you lost another one.